Okay, so in today's setup guide, I'm going to be showing you how to get started with the latest version of EmulationStation, or it's better known as Esde nowadays. This is currently 3.0.0. So in this setup guide, I'm going to be showing you how to download this, how to actually use retroarch within inside of this system, how to scrape artwork, how to configure controllers, and I'm going to get you all the settings you need in order to get retro gaming immediately. So check this one out. Okay then, before I start today's EmulationStation 3.0.0 setup guide, make sure to hit notifications, subscribe and like so you don't miss out on upcoming retro emulation content that I release every day on my channel. It helps my channel a great deal, plus you get up-to-date retro emulation setup guides as I release them, which is once, maybe 3 times a day. So this is the first in 2024 that EmulationStation Desktop Edition has received an update, and I actually did a full setup guide last year in December. So what we're going to do today then is give you a full setup guide to this and get you up and running. We're going to be downloading retroarch to use with this. I'm going to be showing you how to use BIOS files, how to add your games, and I'm going to be generally showing you how to get up and running with this. So let's get into this. What we're going to do is head over to the Esde website, and we can check just here that this latest version was released less than 24 hours ago, and we got a changelog just here, which is going to tell you what new improvements and bug fixes we have got in this latest version of Esde. And there's a lot there, including a brand new theme. So what we're going to do then is just download this from the website itself. If we just go to download, now we got various different installations just here. We can actually support the team, or we can just get it for free. We got 2 options for Windows. We've either got the portable version, or we can actually install this to hard drive. And it also supports Mac computers as well as Linux, as you can see just here. Awesome stuff. I'm going to download the portable version for this today. So we're going to let this download as it's just done, and like I say, we're going to use retroarch with this. If you're new to front-end emulation, the majority of front-end systems uses retroarch because retroarch covers so much. Retroarch is going to run in the background of Esde, and it's going to power our games. So we're going to go to the website here, and we're going to download it. If we just scroll down, we are going to download the latest version of retroarch to go with this. And in fact, this retroarch system actually received a full update the other day too. Lots of updates going on for front ends at the moment, that type of thing. So we got a choice of the installer version, or we've also got a portable version. So for installation versions, we got 64-bit and 32-bit. For portable versions, we got 64-bit and 32-bit. If you're confused over which bit to use, then the simplest way to do this is go to your search bar and type in system information. Once system information is popped up, you're going to find under system type what type of computer you've got. Mine's times 64, so I need to download the 64-bit version. If you've got an old school 32-bit computer, which is quite unlikely of this day and age, then it will likely say times 86. So I'm going to download the portable 64-bit. Awesome stuff. So that's now downloading. And finally, I'm going to introduce you to Screen Scraper. If you've not come across Screen Scraper, so once we're inside of EmulationStation, or simply Esde as the dev team are calling it these days, we can actually scrape our artwork using this, but we need to sign up for free. So simply go to register. And once you've signed up and you've got a username and you've got a password, you can then use that inside the front end of Esde itself. Very simple stuff. Okay, so we've downloaded Esde itself, the portable version, as we can see, and we've also downloaded the portable version of retroarch. What we need to do is extract both of these. So I'm going to start off with Esde. If I double left click, Here we go. This is what you're going to find inside. And that's great. That's what we need. So we're just going to extract this, and I'm going to put this onto my desktop. Just drag it out. Okay, cool. So once that's extracted, what we're going to do is just delete the zip folder just here. So just delete it, move it to your recycle bin or trash, whatever. Next thing we need to extract is the RetroArch portable version. So again, what we're going to do is just simply drag it or extract it onto the desktop. Okay, and once that's finished extracting, again, we can now delete the zip archive or zip folder of RetroArch. So first thing we need to do is just go into the Esde folder. From here, we're going to find a few different subfolders, and really it's the emulators and the ROMs folder that we need to focus on. If I go inside the emulators, what I'm going to do from here is just drag and drop my RetroArch portable inside of this emulators folder. Okay, cool. So let's actually open up esde.exe. This is an executable, and this is going to take you into the program. Okay, so once we're inside, what I'm going to do is just use either my controller, I'm using a Google Stadia controller, or we can use keys on the keyboard such as right and left. I'm going to go to create directories and press enter. And I'm going to press enter on proceed. And OK. And then I'm going to just go to quit and press enter on quit. Okay, so that's going to quit out, and what we're going to do next is go into ROMs. Now what we've just done through Esde is generated lots of folders in here. So this is going to be all the systems that Esde supports. And you've got everything here from the Nintendo NES, ZX Spectrum, Commodore 64, pretty much all of those 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, even 64-bit systems. So what I've got for this example is I've got a couple of Sega Mega CD games, which is Lawnmower Man and Mickey Mania. So in this ROMs list, what we need to do is find a folder named Sega CD. And the reason I'm going to be using Sega CD is partly because we need BIOS files in order to run Sega CD games, which I'm going to be showing you shortly. But what we're going to do is just drag and drop my two Sega CD games inside of that ROM Sega CD folder. If I come out, next up, I've got two more games. So one of my games is going to be a Sega Mega Drive game. So we need to find the Mega Drive folder, and here it is. And I'm going to drag and drop my Mega Drive game in here. And finally, we have got a NES game. So again, what we're going to do is just scroll down until we find NES and drag and drop. Okay, if we just come out and out again, what we need to do next is take a look at RetroArch. So if we go into emulators where we dragged and dropped RetroArch earlier in this video, what we're going to do is open up RetroArch, and we need to set some things up inside RetroArch. Okay, so if you're new to RetroArch, what this is going to be running from something called cores, and you can look at cores like they're mini emulators that run exclusively with RetroArch. So I've got 3 systems to emulate using RetroArch. I need to download the cores to power them. So to do this, what we're going to do inside of RetroArch is use D-pad to go down, or you can use cursors on your keyboard. Just simply go to Online Updater. And from here, we're going to go to Core Downloader. Now, this is the entirety of different cores, or emulators, if you like, what RetroArch supports, what it's got, what we can emulate through RetroArch. So we obviously need a Sega CD core. So what we're going to do is just scroll down until we get to that section. So under Sega, we got many different cores here to use. And the one I'm going to be using is going to be Genesis plus GX. Now you can find MS, GG, MD, CD, which all work with Genesis plus GX. So Genesis plus GX can emulate Master System, Game Gear, Mega Drive, and Sega CD. We've also got Pick a Drive, which is another very good Sega emulator. But for this, I'm going to just use Genesis plus. If I want to download and install this, I need to press my A button. And it's going to give us a hashtag which tells us that it's installed. So next up, we got a Nintendo NES game. And again, we just need to look for a Nintendo NES core. And let me remind you, core is an emulator, almost. So for this, we got Nintendo NES cores just there. So I'm going to download the core Nestopia UE. Again, press A. And that's now installed. As we can see, it says core installed and we got a hashtag. And that's it. We don't need anything else because we downloaded that Sega CD core, which is going to emulate Sega CD and my Mega Drive game. Now, if I press B to come out, what we need to do next is make RetroArch into a full screen. As you can see, it's opened up in a window mode. If we go down one to settings, go across and go down to video. From here, we're going to go down to full screen mode, press A, and just simply start in full screen mode, so A. Okay, so we're now in full screen mode. What we're going to do next is just come out, and we're going to go down to configuration file, which you can find under main menu, and save current configuration. If I press B to come out, we're going to go down to quit. Okay, so that's RetroArch partly sorted. So now we've got the emulators or core sorted to work alongside Esde. What we're going to do is open up Esde again. Okay, awesome. So we can now see that our games have been detected. So we got the Nintendo NES game, we got Sega CD, and we got Sega Mega Drive. What we need to do then is take a look inside each one of these folders. So here's my NES game, my two Sega CD games, and my Sega Mega Drive game. So first of all, let's actually download some art. So earlier I was talking about Screen Scraper. What we're going to do to scrape artwork for these games is just simply press Start button to come into main menu, Scraper, Scrape From, Screen Scraper needs to be selected here. Scrape these games, and I'm going to make sure all games are selected. Scrape these systems, so this is each one of my systems that I'm running through EmulationStation. So just check each one of these and press back. Now under account settings, this is why you need to sign up and register with Screen Scraper. We need to put our Screen Scraper username and password here. Once you've done that, press back and content settings. So just here, we got a selection of what we want to download through Screen Scraper. So we got preview videos and all sorts of different artwork. So if we go on to use different themes, which I'm going to show shortly in Esde, then different artwork is going to display differently on different themes. Well, we're going to go on to that. I'm going to go to back and then start. And depending on how many games you're importing into Esde, this can take from a couple of minutes up to a few hours. Okay then, so 4 games successfully scraped. I'm going to press A on my controller. And that's it. So let's take a look at opening up the games. I'm going to start with Sega Mega Drive. And here's my artwork. If I press A to launch the game. Sega! And as you can see, we're in. Okay, so we've got Mega Drive up and running, and what I'm going to do is press my Google Stadia button. Now, if you're going to be using something like an Xbox controller to open up what's called the RetroArch quick menu, it's going to likely be your Xbox button. But from here, we can do a lot of different things, including save state games. So if I just go to save states and select save state, And to load that state back up, just by pressing my Google Stadia button again, I'm going to go to load state. Very cool. So I can come out of save states by pressing B on my controller, and we can do things further with RetroArch, which is obviously powering this with the core we downloaded. If I go to core options and I go down to video, core provided aspect ratio is on auto. I can change this here by going to 4:3. And if I keep pressing B and go back to quick menu by pressing A and A again, and as you can see, it now looks a lot more like how it should look with that 4:3 aspect ratio we applied. You can do a lot of stuff through RetroArch quick menu, but I'm not going to go into that for now. What I'm going to do is actually quit out of this. So to exit out of my Mega Drive game, I need to be in quick menu for this. And from here, I can go to quit. And if I press B to come out of Mega Drive, what I'm going to do next is go into my Nintendo folder, and here we go, more artwork. And just press A to boot up your game. And as you can see, couldn't find emulator core. So what we need to do in this case is go to main menu by pressing start or the equivalent of start on your controller. If we go down to other settings, alternative emulators. Now I'm going to go to NES. And I downloaded a core for this earlier, which was in RetroArch. And the core I downloaded was Netopia. So I'm going to select that. And try and open my game again. And we're in. And again, just like the game I did before for Mega Drive, if we go into quick menu, save states, and we can save this just here. And load. Cool, so we also got the same video settings for Nintendo NES, just like any other system. We can go to core options, video. You'll find lots of different options here for Nintendo NES, so we can go down to preferred aspect ratio. And again, just like Mega Drive, pop this on to 4:3. And if we come out, quick menu, resume. Okay, so what we're going to do then is quit out of this game. And finally, we got Sega CD. If we go in here, now Sega CD isn't going to run because we've put no BIOS files into the folder. So what we're going to do is exit out of EmulationStation. So main menu, quit Esde, really quit, yes. Okay, and from here, what we're going to do is just show you where to put your BIOS files. So if we go inside emulators and back into the RetroArch folder, because we're powering these games through RetroArch, we're going to need to use the RetroArch folder. So system is where your BIOS files are going to live. So I've got Sega CD BIOS files here. If I just drag and drop them into that system folder, and if I then go back into the application, Esde, Sega CD, and I'm going to open up Mickey Mania again. So same story with the retroarch quick menu, we can use save states. And let me just let you into a tip, we got different state slots here to use. We got 1,000 in total. If I use a different state slot, say number 2, save state. And I'm going to go to load state. And as we can see there in the bottom left hand corner, it's saved from slot 2. So what we're going to do then is just come out of retroarch. And we're going to look at themes. So if we press main menu, what we're going to do is go to UI settings. And from here, we're going to go to theme downloader and proceed. This is going to gather up a list of different themes we can download. So we got a lot here. So lots there to choose from, and one I particularly like is the CoinOps theme. So to download this, I'm going to press A on my controller. Okay, so once this say installed, what we're going to do is press B on controller to come out, and we're going to go to theme. And just here you'll find a new theme just here which has appeared. It wasn't there a minute ago. This is CoinOps, which I've just downloaded. If I press A on this, and then I need to press B to come out. And as you can see, we now got awesome new theme. And if we actually go into the game folders,
get ready.
And as you can see, everything's changed. And when we downloaded the artwork, when we scraped it, we scraped lots of different pieces of art because those different pieces of art are going to display in particular themes. So let's say, for example, your controller isn't working how it should be. Press start to go to main menu. From here, we're going to go to input device settings. Controller type, we can use a selection here. This is just using Xbox by default. And if we just scroll down, configure keyboard and controllers. So what this is going to do is give us the ability to map out our controller. If I press proceed, one gamepad detected, so that's the one I've been using for this setup guide. What I need to do here is hold down the button on my controller. And then what we're going to do is just do what it says. So D-pad up, I'm going to press my D-pad up, D-pad down, left, right, and this is all you do to correctly set up your controller. And should you need to bypass one of these if you don't have enough buttons, if you just hold down a button on your controller for a couple of seconds, it will say not defined and it just skips it. Okay, so next what we're going to do is show you how to use cheats for this. So simply what we're going to do is just open up a game. Okay, once we're inside our game, what we're going to do is press B on your controller to come out, and from here we're going to go down to Online Updater using the D-pad, press A to enter, and from here what we're going to do is just scroll down and update cheats. Just let this download, and we're also going to download overlays. So what we're going to do whilst we're in the game is actually show you how to apply cheats to particular games, and I've also downloaded overlays. So whilst we're in the game, we can actually have some on the sides rather than those boring black bars. So just let this extract. I'm also going to go down to update slang shader, so just press A to download this too. Okay, so after everything's finished downloading and extracting, what we're going to do is just come out by pressing B. We're going to go to quick menu and just scroll down until we find cheats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a cheat to Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which I've just booted up. So we're going to go down to apply after toggle and just turn this one on. And then I'm going to go to loads cheat file replace, press A. Now I'm going to scroll down until I come across Sega Mega Drive Genesis, and here we go. And in here, you've just downloaded and extracted cheats for pretty much every Mega Drive game. So if I just scroll down, everything's listed in alphabetical order, and I'm obviously looking for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And here we go, Sonic 3 Europe.cht. If I press A, and I'm then going to scroll down, and for this particular game, what I've got is a cheat here, Untouchable Sonic and Tails. If I go in here, I'm going to press A on Enabled, and if I come out by pressing B, I'm then going to go to Apply Changes. Cool, and then come out by pressing B, Quick Menu, Resume. And as you can see now, that cheat has actually taken effect. I'm actually standing on top of those spikes and it's not hurting me. If I come out and go down to quit, I can then use those cheats I've just downloaded extracted on any system or virtually any system. So from quick menu, again, we're going to go down to cheats, and we're going to make sure apply after toggle is actually turned on, and we're going to go to loads cheat file, and then it's just a case of scrolling down until we find Nintendo Entertainment System, which is here. Now again, just like Mega Drive, you've got all these cheats for pretty much all the Nintendo NES games. So again, we're going to look for the game, which is Super Mario Brothers. So I'm going to select Super Mario Brothers, and if I scroll down, we then got even more cheats than what Sonic 3 just had. So for example, get a coin to pass to the next world. And as you can see from that gameplay, the settings for the cheats have now been applied. So something else I downloaded just now was overlays. So let's check this out. If I just go down to on-screen overlay, I'm going to turn this on. Overlay preset, I'm going to go down to borders, and I'm going to select NES SMB2 Integer. If I select this one and come back out, quick menu, resume. As you can see, that's randomly applied to Super Mario Bros. 2 NES overlay on the sides. Let's actually get some a bit more accurate. So on-screen overlay, overlay preset, NES and in border. So NES border, turn this on, quick menu, resume. And as you can see from that, we've now got NES borders covering the black bars, which is a lot nicer to look at. Just remember, whenever you're doing these settings, go to configuration file and save current configuration. So that's it for today's Emulation Station setup guide. If you like what you see today, hit notifications, subscribe and like. Also, check me out on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. And be sure to check out my playlists. I cover a lot of content for front-end emulation systems, as well as a multitude of different standalone emulators for various different systems, from the C64 right up until the Wii U and PlayStation 3. But anyways, thanks for watching. Until next time, stay retro.